ShartimusPrime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it, taking bad hits, taking bad shit. Subscribe. Hey, what's up, you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another movie review on The Flash. I have been really excited about the movies that have come out lately. Now, with this video, I'm going to do a non-spoiler section, and I will do a spoiler section. But before that, we're going to talk about action figures. And if you're trying to get your action figures, you can do so on Whatnot. I have a Robosin Optimus Prime Elite version giveaway. Not this coming Thursday, but next Thursday. Also, I'm going to be selling a bunch of my DC action figures, a lot of Mattel stuff, and Marvel stuff, Transformers. I have a bunch of my extra figures for sale over there, plus that Robosin giveaway. Anyway, let's talk about the figures associated with this film. First off, I have not done a review on the Dark Flash over here, so I do want to do a review on that, so stay tuned. But first off, I want to talk about Michael Keaton. You could see here, this one's going out to a giveaway winner, by the way. But this looked a lot younger than I thought I remembered seeing Michael Keaton, and it still does. However, I will say that unmasked Michael Keaton in this movie, and correct me if I'm wrong here, he looked younger than the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming, which came out years ago. I feel like they may have done something to his face. I could be wrong, maybe the hair, but he did look a little bit younger to me in this film compared to Spider-Man Homecoming. I would like to know your thoughts if you agree with that or not. But as far as the choices of figures that they have, I think they're all good choices to release. Like the Bat-Suit Flash and then the Speed Force Flash figures. I'm very happy to have both of those at the moment. And that's all I really wanted to touch on as far as the figures go. The Batwing would be really cool to have at one point in time. I don't know. I may try to wing that one. See what I did there with the jokes. Dad jokes. I can't help it. Also, I'm wearing all Marvel stuff for this DC movie review. I have a very cool Flash hat. I have lots of DC apparel. It wasn't on purpose. Just making the most of the time that I have right now. Anyway, let's talk about the movie. I saw it with my brother, XD screening, and I gotta say, man, I loved this movie. Just putting it out there, I loved this movie. It definitely has a different vibe than Marvel movies. I will tell you that right off the bat. Like there's stuff in this movie that you will never see in an MCU film ever, I think. You know, maybe in a Deadpool movie or something somewhere, but for real, right off the bat, there was stuff there I was like, wow, this is different. Like, they're taking a different approach. I will say, Ezra Miller's acting was very impressive. I really think that he did an amazing job in this film. Now, it's no spoiler that there's a young Flash and an older Flash, and I think that he was able to separate those two characters very well, while at the same time kind of poking some fun at himself, which I thought was really well done. Michael Keaton's acting was fantastic. All of the other supporting cast members were great. I think this movie was very well written. I thought it was very well paced. I thought the drama in this was really good. The drama was not interrupted by jokes or anything like that. I started to tear up a little bit in the movie, to be honest with you. I felt it. And I've seen this story before. Like, if you're a comic reader, you're familiar with Flashpoint. If you watch the CW Flash show, you know, right? Like, yo, you've at least, if you've read the comics, you've watched the CW show, like, you've seen this story told before. So because of that, I was impressed that the actors and the director and the writers were able to reel me in emotionally and have me really involved with this instead of having a more cynical kind of perspective on it. I was in the film. I really liked it. As far as complaints go, to be honest with you, I don't really have any serious complaints. I felt like there was one that I may remember, but yeah, there's cameos all over the place. There's, you know how the Flash runs. He runs like that in this movie. That shouldn't be a spoiler, but I guess maybe that's my biggest complaint, but not even really, because I think the explanation of him moving through the molecules, like he's almost swimming through everything, makes sense. But it was a really well told story, man. I think the acting was great. The special effects, there's some debate about that. There's people that didn't really like the special effects. I feel like in the context that we saw the movie, it made sense to me. And people can disagree with that. But to me, it made sense and it didn't really disrupt the storytelling for me. I genuinely loved the movie. It was honestly the best DC movie I've seen in a while. And I feel like I've liked most of them recently. But this one really stood up there. I mean, I think of Suicide Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie. I really have liked that the most of the recent DC films, but this one I like more. This was really good. I would love to see it again. I would love to go see it in 3D. I think this is a cool one that could be well done in 3D. I think the special effects were actually really good. But there are parts of it where I know people didn't like it, and I'll get into that in the spoiler section because I don't want to give anything away. And there are cameos galore. Stick around for the after credit scene. There is an after credit scene, so stick around for that, even though it doesn't really contribute much. So if you happen to have to miss it, don't be too sad. You're not missing a whole thing. But as far as them in the context of this being the DCEU, and we know that they're wrapping it up, I thought they did a good job. However, if you're a big fan of The Flash and you're not really aware of all the other movies and you just want to go see a Flash movie all on its own without any context in relation to the other characters in the DCEU, you may be seriously disappointed. I could see that. If you're just going in, you just time traveled from the 90s, you love the 90s show. I loved that show when I was a kid, and you just time jump now, and you're like, oh, okay, Flash movie with all the special effects of the world. Let's see, and you would be like, what the heck is going on? You'd be a little bit startled. But in context, with everything that's happened, I think they did an amazing job. Kind of like my explanation, like with the X-Men Days of Future Past. Kind of like that kind of thing. That level. Like, very cool. Very cool. Anyway, let's get into the spoiler section. All right, so cameos galore. Cameos that I didn't expect to see all over the place. But I liked that. And I liked the fan service of it. I really think they did a great job telling the multiverse story. In all honesty, I think that the DCEU did a better job with time travel than the MCU. Now, I just saw Across the Spider-Verse, and there's similarities there, of course. And I'm not going to say which one did it better than the other. I think they both did a really good job. It's still hard for me to say. I loved Across the Spider-Verse, and they did all the things pulling on the heartstrings and everything there too. And that story is a little bit more unique in my mind, or I haven't seen that story before, but this was redone but different. I really like them both. But compared to the MCU, I think the DCEU did a better job with the time travel thing. You know how they even address it. You know how it splits like that in the future? It doesn't work like that. The past and present both flip over. So I was like, damn, that's crazy. That's a cool way to do it. I also like that they wrote the Flash to be mixed ethnicity. My dad is Caucasian, my mother is Latina, and that dynamic in a movie is something I've never seen before. Never seen it before. Well, I may have seen it before somewhere, maybe, but never in my superhero movies. And the fact that this Flash, I mean, it would be nice to see him throwing a little Spanglish or something in there, but I get it. People will get pissed off. They're not used to Flash speaking Spanish, so, don't want to upset the people that hate, cultural differences and stuff like that, or it's out of pocket for them. You know what I mean? I get how some people feel that way. So I'm not bummed out he didn't speak Spanish. It's not a big deal. I just like that they mixed that in there. I like the acting from the dad and the mom. We got Office Space in there. Thought they were fantastic. I thought that was new. I can't remember his name, but I like him. The Jay Garrick, I think, was actually not the CW version, so there's no CW in this at all. But I thought Ezra Miller's storytelling, the opening scene with the babies, I thought it was hilarious. I liked it. I thought it was funny. The baby in the microwave, that was a visual that I, as a parent of two, my youngest just turned 4 years old, so it's like, damn, that people are gonna get offended. I know it. People are just gonna get offended, but I still thought it was hilarious. I understood the humor of it. I thought it was good that the CGI babies didn't look that realistic. That is to the benefit of the film. Also, when it time travels and you can see, or you're going through the multiverse, I love the Colosseum view of these multiple universes happening all at once. I think that's great. And I thought that it was okay that it looked a little extra computer generated. That was fine with me. It was like you're looking through a window into these different universes. It made sense that it would look like that. Plus, the special effects in this film are up the ass, man. They got all kinds of special effects throughout the whole movie. It's not like the movie's shy of visual effects. I mean, as somebody who produced a measly 1 minute animated cartoon thing, I understand how adding stuff in there just piles on the memory and everything. The whole production. I mean, they got a lot of money to work with. It's a bad comparison. I'm just saying that if you're going to cut corners a little bit, making like all the flashback stuff look a little bit, less realistic is a smart move. But when it gets to him like using the Speed Force and all those special effects there, and the action scenes, everything looked great. I didn't think there was my one complaint, Batman. I don't think Batman would have done that suicide move. I don't know if he did that in the comics ever. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But the foolish suicide attack with the Batwing, I think was my one gripe of the whole movie. I was like, Batman wouldn't do that. I don't think Batman would do that. Maybe old Batman, I guess, but I don't know. I felt like that was out of character. I didn't like that. And then they rewound it, and he doesn't. And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, I'll just fly off," and he's saved. I was like, okay. So, and then we got the George Clooney, which I thought was hilarious more than anything. It's like, hey, look, it's not the favorite Batman, everybody. And I guess they just wrote out Batfleck. Ben Affleck was amazing, by the way. Probably the most Kevin Conroy Batman on screen, outside of Mask of the Phantasm, obviously, ever. So he's my favorite Batman. Like, he's like my favorite contemporary Batman anyway. I mean, he's the most comic booky Batman. That figure, by the way, we never see it. We never see the all black Ben Affleck in there. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but again, I didn't want to spoil anything. But yeah, I'm just going to repaint that figure now. I'm on a quest to just get it repainted to the to the gray and blue. So I think the movie, I think Ezra Miller did a fantastic job without touching on all his, his bad personal decisions and stuff like that. As an actor, I thought he was excellent. I liked him in the Justice League. I'm one of those people that liked him in that movie, and I liked his relationship with Cyborg. So I feel like him and Cyborg were Cyborg was his only, seemed like to be the closest thing to a friend to him in that Justice League movie. So not having any Cyborg at all in this movie did bum me out some. Ray Fisher, I wish he was in the movie, but I know there's drama with that. Man, these actors and all this bullshit, it's got to be nuts, man. The producers got to be losing their minds. I sympathize for them. That's got to be a tough thing to do. But Marvel and DC, all this crazy shit, you know what I mean? Like, we just, oh God, it's nuts. So, unfortunately, no Ray Fisher in the movie. But I thought it was, I love the Keaton parts, the one-liners, I get it. For the trailer, I see. But there was still new Batman. So I thought I wouldn't like the faster-moving Batman, but the fact that we see him, old man Bruce, kick ass in the kitchen, I recognized the kitchen right away. I was like, oh shit, they're there! Like, I didn't recognize Wayne Manor, because I was thinking, hey, it's that shot from Doctor Strange, and they use that in tons of movies. I was distracted by that camera shot. Like, oh, they use this camera angle in every movie, right? Walking up to a giant mansion. But once we got into the kitchen, I was like, oh, we're in Wayne Manor. Oh, man, Keaton's going to show up. So I knew it was Keaton right away. See him flipping around the table and all the stuff, spatula fight or whatever. I was okay with seeing Batman move a little bit faster than I was used to back in the day. I thought Keaton was great. Again, man, at the end of the movie, I was just like, holy shit, there's barely any actors in this movie. Like, it really felt like there's barely any actors. Like, I mean, dude, Ezra Miller was like the villain, and he was the hero, and he was the supporting character, like all at once. So I think it was really well done. Love the directing. Again, the special effects thing didn't really bother me. Don't have many complaints. The Aquaman scene at the very end was silly. I thought it was funny to see. I liked it. But yeah, I wish all of this, we'll see what James Gunn does in the future. We got a couple movies. I'm very excited. We got a couple more movies coming out. Excited to see Aquaman 2. Excited to see Blue Beetle. Really excited for Blue Beetle, by the way. That one caught me off guard with how stoked I was when I first saw that trailer. I was like, holy crap. And then seeing it in the theater, oh man, so sick. Anyway, that's my review, you guys. I give it like a 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, something like that. I really loved it. I liked this movie a lot. I want to see it again. I still want to see Transformers Rise of the Beasts again, though, too. And the kids want to see that one. So I'm not going to take the kids to see the Flash movie, but Rise of the Beasts, I will take them to see that. Maybe. We'll see. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. I am desperate to get an action figure review up on this channel, so stay tuned. Mezco Batman should be coming to the channel very soon, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. I got to get rolling. And hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face,